This chain is very, very nice. I want to see what this saw feels like in the hardwood.
Definitely didn't want this to come down, but
I didn't either.
it is what it is.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm a bit nervous on this tree because out of the trees we've fallen today, this is the only one that could actually hit the house. What a beautiful sky. That beautiful tree's coming down. I ran my 500i and it's running really good, and I did my first actual true Humboldt cut. And it went really good. I've never really run square ground chain, and Full Tilt Saw sent me an awesome care package. I've never had one of these, everybody. So we have a 93 drive link chain, and that is, well, you can see that. That is square ground right there. We mounted it up on this 28-inch bar since it's 93 drive link. I really wish it could go on the 500i, but their 28-inch bars use 91. I mentioned this tree could hit my house because if it went completely 90 degrees that way, well, that would be a problem. But I want to take it right through here. We've removed a couple other trees already through there, and it's time to go.
Why do the leaves on the pines look so much more lush in the winter? Look how like fluffy they look.
I don't know, they might be growing. They
Yeah.
might. Do pines grow needles in the wintertime? I don't know, you're right, they do look. I think what happens is all the dead falls out and it just looks healthier. Oh my gosh! Oh. He said the rakers were a bit hungry, which is the case. I wish I was running this on my 500i, but that is some really good chip coming out of there. Yeah, the rakers are definitely low on this. Almost my 395 would be the better bet. I'm excited to buck with it. Almost more of like a firewood chain. I'm not used to trying to do a Humboldt notch. This saw is very, very hungry. Powerhead might be lacking a little bit, but let's take a look at how this looks. I'm really happy with that. Obviously that could get cleaned up, but again, that's a functional Humboldt, I believe. And we're pointed right towards those stumps, which is where I want it. And that should be a nice hole. Let's see how we go. it is. I want you guys to share about this. I probably could have made this hinge a little bit thinner, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty of hinge to not hit that right there. How do you think it went, babe?
I think it went a little bit unexpected.
Huh?
At the end.
How come?
I didn't expect it just to fall so quickly.
Oh, you thought it would. You thought it went smoother than you thought it would?
No.
Oh.
Oh,
you thought it would just fall
you planning.
without wedging?
Yeah.
It had a little bit of weight on the back. So, oh wow, let's go take a look and see where I hit, honey. Guys, I'm really excited to run that square ground in this, bucking it up. It's gonna be awesome. Look at this, I wanted to hit the stumps and I did it. Check this out. I always love seeing what's up top here. Look at that. We got sap. Wow, okay. It makes me so sad when we cut these trees down. We love the pines on this property, everybody. We love them so much. Pine cones are absolutely amazing. I believe they open up and close based on the weather. So the tree just kind of has its own natural mechanism of dropping the seeds when they need to drop. And we've got these little shortleaf pine seeds everywhere, and I wish you could grow them easily. They don't grow very easily. Isn't this reminiscent, honey, of when we were falling the trees for our property from the get-go when we first started here?
Yes.
It
Definitely didn't want this to come down, but
I didn't either.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Man, it always has such a good smell. The top of a pine tree smells like nothing else. Mm-hmm. It's always a unique smell. Now that we're bucking, I'm really excited to see how this chain's gonna feel. And let me tell you, it's throwing some really good chips. Thank you, Full Tilt Saw. Wow, that's beautiful. I'm trying to decide whether or not this is going to be only firewood or if it should be
I think this is a pretty
saw
straight
log
tree. I think we should save this one.
Save it?
Yeah.
If I cut it, if I make it a saw log, I can cut it here. I can cut it here, and then I can cut another saw log out of here. Our sawmill can only do, around 10 foot. So I'm gonna cut a 10-foot log out of here, which is about there. I'll do a firewood section here, do another 10-foot section down there, and then the rest of the tree will be used for firewood. I want to finish limbing this up, and we'll talk about this chain here in a little bit. I want to see what this saw feels like in the hardwood. I'm gonna finish limbing up here, but this chain is very, very nice. Full Tilt Saw runs a lot of Stihl saws, and a lot of Stihl guys and a lot of Stihl chain comes hungry out of the box. And so it's a little bit of a different thing. This chain is really nice. The one thing is I don't want to hit it on the ground. I don't want it to dull because, well, it's a commitment to be able to hand file one of these. You see, if you're cutting in a very nice, clean environment, you can like take this meticulous care of your chains because you've got just clean wood. Now, around here, we've got a lot of grit in our wood, and I cut a lot of firewood. A lot of my stuff gets drugged through the wood, the dirt. And so this is just not the best thing in terms of durability from my understanding, but I'm gonna tell you what, can you get these really close? So this chain, this top edge feels really quite like an X-Acto knife, literally. So basically what we're talking about is once that edge dulls or blunts a little bit, the advantage of this chain is 100% gone. So the square ground chain, and he does this on a square jig, by the way, and I've been interested in a square jig, but I wanted to cut with a chain cut off of a square jig, and he just so happened to volunteer sending me one out on his dime. I just want to say thank you. I'm going to get to cutting on this. This would have been really glorious on my 500i. This clone saw is a pretty nice, clean running saw. It's base gasket deleted. It's always operated very, very well. But, you know, that 500i now with that West Coast Saws bark box is just running so good. We're going to go ahead and finish cutting this up. And I'm actually, to be honest with you, kind of sad about cutting this tree down, guys. I'm not a tree hugger or anything, but like we've said before, we love the trees on this property. It's why we built our house the way we did. In and amongst the trees, we've really fought to keep as many trees as we could around. The times are changing, and there's more to our story as every day develops. Square ground chain from Full Tilt Saw. Thank you, buddy. That square ground chain done by Full Tilt Saw on the square jig is really nice cutting stuff. You can find him on Instagram, TikTok, I believe Facebook, and he does have a YouTube channel as well. Thank you, buddy.